Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Filament Health's channel, forefronting the psychedelic industry for the treatment of mental health. Coming from the lab today, we've got Chief Executive Officer Ben Lightburn. Welcome back, sir.
Yeah, thanks. Happy to be here.
And happy to have you back with some big news coming out of your news filings there. I mean, Filament Health and Atma Journey Centers announces a licensing agreement, which is Canada's first private therapy company legally allowed to basically do psilocybin therapy. Break this down for us and tell us what's going on here.
So our partnership with Atma is actually now our third publicly announced revenue generating deal. So we're really excited now that we're actually alive and generating revenue in the psilocybin industry. We think that's one of the really unique and attractive things about our story and our business model. Atma in particular is an organization that's focused on training therapists for psychedelic assisted psychotherapy. And the way they're going about that is actually getting Health Canada to get them approvals for clinical trials that help them to get actual training into the hands of these psychotherapists that need that training in advance of an eventual rollout of the psilocybin and other psychedelic market. So partnering with Atma is great because we provide our proprietary botanical psilocybin drug candidates to these therapists for their training, which actually gets their therapists comfortable with our natural product, comfortable with everyone knowing that there's an alternative synthetic. Our product's made in Canada. Atma is a Canadian company, so all of these things, combine for a great story and a great partnership.
Could you perhaps touch briefly too on how Atma is kind of delivering these therapies? Are they doing it through specific environments and clinics, or how are they managing to do that?
So Atma has its own proprietary therapy, which they are using to train therapists. Right? These therapists could then go out and deliver their therapy in any number of environments, right? Most likely at different clinics. But there's a real problem for the psychedelics industry right now, is that there are very few trained psychedelic assisted psychotherapists. And if we're going to be able to roll these substances out responsibly, we're going to need many more people trained in the art and science of actually giving these substances to patients. And that's a piece of the puzzle that Atma is contributing towards, right? Getting more therapists well trained to actually give the therapy and the substances. And like I said, we're very excited that they're going to be doing it with our substance.
Yeah, Filament over the last year seems like they're really kind of vertically getting a foothold in many different facets of what it's going to take to get this industry moving forward. From the Canadian side of the border, or even the U.S. side of the border, how do you feel about the psychedelic industry moving forward in 2022?
I mean, it's clear to everyone that at least the prices of the stock of the publicly traded companies are down from their all-time highs for sure. And I think what this represents is an excellent buying opportunity, considering all of the exciting things that are still to come, right? We haven't really even seen the beginnings of any of the broader legalization efforts that are happening in Oregon, in Canada. We haven't really seen any late stage clinical trial results. We haven't seen any drug approvals. There are so many things that are yet to come in the psychedelics industry. I'm as excited as ever, and in fact, probably even more excited because of all the great work Filament has been doing and all the great partnerships that we've been able to generate. I think the future is very, very bright. You can layer on top of the geopolitical things at play. They're not going to help alleviate the mental health crisis that we currently have, right? It's only going to serve to make it worse, right? You have COVID, you have, maybe a remote chance, but a chance nonetheless of World War III starting, right? This isn't going to improve people's mental health. And so we're going to need there's an even more burning need for better therapies and better solutions. And I think that's definitely something that psychedelics are going to be able to show after time with research to be able to provide. And so we're all very excited to hopefully be part of the solution one day.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And I think you just highlighted some important insights for investors, because it doesn't seem like we can get away from an escalating mental health crisis between, like you said, COVID, and then all of a sudden we finally see the end of it. In hyperinflated markets, it's harder to live and function normally. And now we've got potential war and crises going on with these geopolitical factors. But on that note, Ben, I definitely appreciate your time today. Thanks so much for coming out.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure. And on the cusp of this unicorn here, folks, consider subscribing, because as news comes down the wire in this sector, updates over time, we will be following those updates here. And let us know what you think in that comment section below. We'd love to hear from you. But stay cool, stay awesome. And as always, I look forward to catching you in the next one.